It's all over for Kadence WP. At least it is for me. I just wanted to give you a follow-up. I put up a previous video of why I think that Kadence theme and blocks honestly is now dangerous to people who are using them. I've used it for many years, and after the change, which I saw on May 12th, of the terms of service, I looked at that and I thought, this is not the same thing. And there's a good reason for why that's the case. They're owned by a private equity company. Kadence now goes to Liquid Web, which is a company by Nexcess, which is the company owned by the private equity company that I mentioned in my previous video. There's lots of layers and stacks here, but basically the service is not the same. I did have an email discussion with someone about trying to get a refund. And I'm happy to say that they agreed with me. They provided a refund. So I kind of want to show you what my little journey looked like. And some of it's a little bit embarrassing. I'm not going to show specifically, but the problem was trying to get access to my support tickets, my licenses, and all that information that used to be available on the CadenceWP.com site, which didn't really transfer, at least not immediately, over to the new software for Liquid Web. So I'm here on my dashboard, and obviously there's the upgrade now. You see that I have no products, no sites, no annual total, all of this. That was the same way as it looked when I first signed on to this new portal. If I look here now under license, well, I don't own any products yet. You can see they still have something over here for the people who had lifetime subscriptions. They're missing from their accounts. They're trying to fix that. They've been trying to fix that for about 2 weeks now. If we look at subscriptions, you can see that I have canceled all of my subscriptions. I had the full bundle, which was everything they offered, the blocks, the essential bundle, full bundle, again, those all had different dates. If we look at my invoices, you can see that I had the full bundle, which renewed in 2026 on March 19th, and it's been refunded. That's good with me. That's what I wanted. Because although I did not have any problem when this renewed on March 19th, that was before they came up with their new terms of service, which I found to be consumer unfriendly, anti-consumer, whatever you want to call it. So I'm done with Kadence. It served me well for the time being. I was a little disappointed that Kadence itself had not really progressed and come up with anything new. It was the same thing that I bought, even back from 2021. It just really didn't grow. And that was a bit of frustration, but it wasn't enough to stop me. It was serving what I needed to do. So I'm not upset with the time that I had with it. I got upset, and blatantly so. Some of my discussions on their chat were, well, let's face it, I was pretty profane because nobody was talking to me. There was no support system. If I come down here to where it says support, you don't see your old tickets. There is no portal. I've asked on the chat with the live agents. They said, well, you can take a look at your support. And I thought, how? Where? When I submitted a ticket, I was not getting any response yet. Except for the last ticket I sent, I finally got an email that gave me a ticket number. So that gave me something to work with. All you get for support is a place to submit a ticket. Once this was submitted, which I submitted several tickets, until the last one, I did not get any email. I did not have any place to review my tickets, to see any progress. That was very disconcerting when you feel like you're shouting into an empty hole. So I finally got on to their live chat, and I was swearing up a storm. That got some information. Matter of fact, I want to show you something. Let's go to Liquid Web. And we're going to go to their webpage. If we come over here, this page has a little chat bot down here. It's going to connect. It's going to ask you, all right, what is this about? And you select from one of these options. And in my case, I wanted to contact Kadence. And then it gives you this. Well, please navigate to this. That is the same page where you submit a support ticket that went to nowhere. And it says, you ended the chat. That really ticked me off. I didn't end a chat. I was trying to chat with somebody. By accident, I discovered that if I started new chat here, it'll go to their sales team. And that's how I finally got to be able to start talking to a human. And, as soon as you want to talk to them, as soon as you ask to talk to somebody with a Kadence team, the LearnDash team, the events calendar team, or Give WP, they hung up on you immediately. That was another indication of the fact that they don't want to talk to you. Today, I finally got a refund. Let me show you this. I'm going to stop this. I'm going to bring over an email. It said he tried to save the account. He tried to talk to me like the same people are working on this, all the same stuff. And I thought, no, I want a refund. So he says, your full refund and cancellation has been processed. If you need anything in the future, we hope you'll reach out. So I appreciate that. That was courteous and thoughtful. The person on chat that I spoke with was also courteous, which is more than I can say for myself. On Saturday, I was blatantly upset. And I let that person know. I said, look, I'm not upset with you because that person hadn't even spoken to me yet. I said, I'm upset with how this whole thing is going. We talked for a while. Finally, I got a response, not from that chat or from that ticket, but from one I'd submitted several days prior. And that was the one where Jamie, who in the email you just saw, had finally gotten back to me after close to a week. He said, hey, look, do you want to hang on, keep trying this, or do you want to cancel? I said, I want to cancel. And then that was on Saturday. Well, Sunday was, it's all the weekend. I didn't know what their hours were for the weekend. Monday was Memorial Day. I didn't check back then. I waited for, when I'm recording this today, it's Tuesday after Memorial Day 2026. By 1 p.m., I still hadn't heard anything. And that's when I got on the chat and I thought, let's find out what's going on here. The person there kept trying to throw me off, saying, look, I'm a sales agent. I can't help you with this. It's another team. But don't worry, they'll get back to you soon. And I stuck to my guns. I said, no. And I was polite about it. I said, I have been patiently waiting. She thanked me for my patience. And I said, I have been patiently waiting for days. I would like this resolved on this chat. I do not intend to end this chat until I have a resolution. If you're not the right person to speak to, please transfer me to someone who is. I never got transferred, but somewhere while I was waiting on that chat with a sales agent, I saw an email come through with PayPal showing that they were refunding everything. I thought, perfect. So I commented then. I said, look, thank you very much. I have the resolution that I want. She says, is there anything else I can help you with? I said, no, you've been great. And I ended it just like that. With that in mind, I am done with Kadence. Except for the fact that now I have to go to all of my websites and client websites and remove Kadence and put in something else. So what else am I going to put in there? Well, now that I have my refund back, I just purchased GeneratePress. I purchased GeneratePress One. I got the complete kit, the theme, the blocks, and all that other stuff. And I even got a 50% discount for their birthday. So this coupon code, which is not like an affiliate code, I have not signed up for an affiliate link with them. This birthday 12 code apparently is still active for GeneratePress. I didn't know that. I happened to click on a link when I did a Google search. It took me here. And this is the only discount you really get. This was from their previous birthday, I think. But as you can see, today's date, May 26th, the subtotal is $149 for the Generate One plan. I got a $50 discount. Now, it'll renew at the full $149, so it's only a one-time discount. But if you're interested in going to GeneratePress and you want to use this code, it does nothing for me. I am not an affiliate. I probably will be at some point in the future. But that is what I decided to purchase. So I will have new videos and new articles on the Suburbia Press website about my transition with GeneratePress. We'll be talking about it in the Suburbia Press community. And there'll be more to come. But I thought I would wrap this up and let you know that I finally found some people when I could actually speak to humans, even if it was a chat or even on some email messages, that I got things resolved. I was a bit surprised that I got a full refund. I would have been happy with a prorated refund, but they gave me the full refund, which honestly is what I asked for. You always ask for a full refund. And now that's done. So that gave me more than enough for what I needed to buy GeneratePress or Generate One for the whole package. And I just wanted to share that with you. How about you? Are you a Kadence user? Are you going to stick with them or are you looking for something else? I will tell you that GeneratePress is very different than Kadence. I thought I was going to use my lifetime purchase of Astra and Spectra, but I decided to look around. I looked at Bloxy and Stackable. I looked at GeneratePress. I really didn't have any expectation that I was going to use GeneratePress, but the more I looked into it, the more I liked it, the more possibility I found, the better performance I found. That would be something I'm after. So that's my story. I would love to hear your story, your comments, any questions you have. Let me know, and I'll see you again in the next video.